Cabin Fever. I'm Jake Barria today. From the RGV Vipers, I have Mahmoud Abdelfattah. He's the head coach of the Vipers. And also I have
Hondo, Candelaria.
From the Vipers as well. Anyways, this interview is going to be real off the cuff. We're just going to talk hoops. Talk about the journey. Coach, you had an interesting journey. You're from Chicago. You've coached in college. Then you came up here. You've really put in the work to get up here. What was that journey like for you to make it up here?
I mean, like I tell everybody, I mean, it took a lot of patience. I got my first full-time job last year at the age of 30. So it was good. I spent time at St. Cloud State in 2010-11 as a student assistant. And before that, when I was a player from 08 to 10, that's when I kind of knew I wanted to start coaching. So, I started coaching AAU in high school basketball as well. Like I said before, I was the student assistant from 10-11. Then I actually coached high school basketball and AAU after that for 2 years in Chicago. So it was unbelievable. I mean, some of the guys that I worked with then were 7th, 8th, and 9th graders are playing professionally. Some guys are in the NBA. So it's good to see those guys. I was about 20 years old, 19, 20 years old, I first started coaching. And then in 2013, the college coach that I played for, they had an assistant spot open up. He offered me the position. I spent 4 years there, which was, a great 4 years. I learned a ton because, at the Division II level, you have to do everything. You're familiar with the conference that I was in, Barry, and you've got to do a lot of everything from organization, scheduling, academics with the guys, camps. So that just helped me improve, a lot of my life skills. And that's where I actually got to know Cody Topper, who helped me get involved with the Vipers. And then 2017, I was going through the interview process. I got a call, from Cody when he was an assistant saying they're going to start the interview process. Would you be interested? Sure enough, they offered me the position, October 2017. That year goes by, 2018, become an assistant. We won the championship with JB as the head coach. JB gets the assistant job at the 76ers, and lo and behold, become the head coach last year. So God has blessed me, my friend.
And you're part of a tree with Coach Brazzi, who was here before, Coach Blair. They've all moved up. Is that something is that the end game for you? Or do you want to see yourself at the next level? How does that process work?
Yeah, for sure. Of course. I mean, unlike Hondo, I don't want to just be in the same spot for 45 years. I would love to.
Hey, come on now.
I would love to continue to progress. Yeah, for sure. I tell our staff and trying to help them grow. There's areas we can all grow in, but yeah, the next step hopefully would just continue to be up. What position that is, I don't know, but I would definitely love to.
Now, I look at the Vipers' successful coaches that have come through. Nick Nurse, I got the name escapes me. He was the coach for Chris Finch. And Coach Brazzi. They're all coaching some national team along the way, be it Great Britain, Haiti. Do you see yourself doing that as well? Because that's also an avenue that you can do on the side.
So I was with the Jordanian national team as an assistant coach. So my assistant, Sam Douglas, was the head coach in the summer of 18 or summer of 19, sorry. And I went with him. Summer of 18, yeah, correct. I'm mistaken. Summer of 18, so I was his assistant for 2 FIBA windows. But I would love to. I would definitely love to coach internationally. Coach on the just throughout the world. There's no better experience like that. I tell everybody. Traveling from country to country, playing, other teams in front of their entire fan base, and you have nobody. It's unbelievable. So I would love to.
All right, and this is a question for both of you guys. you guys both came in. You actually both got promoted the same year. You know, you coached to head coach, and Hondo, you got moved up to the vice president. What was that like for you guys to actually move up together? And you know, what was your roles? How did they increase, or how did it change?
Well,
Funny, yeah. I was gonna say, me and Mahmoud talked all summer. Literally, I think, kind of through the whole process of we didn't have a coach. JB was moving up, you know. So it was real cool to just me and Mahmoud up at the same time. I mean, I got to sit up at his press conference, introducing him and Travis, because Travis moved up also, you know. So, and basically both they started at the same thing, basketball ops interns, you know. So to move up with them, and I got to know them very well. So it's been really, really fun time, and just having to have more input has been great also too. So
for sure, it was a good time, man. Hondo's my guy, and I mean, just with everybody. Like I tell our staff, I mean, you've got to get to know everybody that's involved with the Vipers organization, because you just never know what can happen or who knows what. Some people may have better answers than others, and I mean, when I was an intern, I think me and Hondo built a great relationship. I'm sure he didn't expect for me to be the head coach in about 20 months. But yeah, it worked out. And I remember just going through last year, you know, I would kind of touch base with Renee, but yeah, I would text Hondo every other, me and Hondo have a relationship. I always tell people there are certain people you never have to check the time before you call them. There are certain people when it's, oh man, it's too early, I gotta wait, it's too late. Hondo's one of those, like, I don't care what time it is. Hondo, you better pick up the phone.
yeah, I got a 6 a.m. call or whatever, you know, or just a late night text.
No, but it was good, man. I mean, I think he's learned a lot. I'm obviously with the arena opening up. You know, I mean, his plate has grown, and me taking over and being the head coach. So I mean, it's not like it's been the same. There's been a lot of change with the organization as well. So it's been a big plus.
Now, one thing you guys have to – go ahead.
I was telling Mahmoud, like, I went to Showcase this year, and then you just see so many people that have been involved in our organization. So like Ryan Atkinson, Ben Sanders, and you see Mahmoud, you just see everybody there, and you're like, oh, dang, man, we've had a pretty good input. You know, we saw John Luca there, you know, so just seeing everybody, and then they've all been part of our history, which is a very big history that we got.
You know, and your positions aren't for the faint of heart. You have a lot of work on your plate. What is it like? Because, you know, in college, you get to recruit your players, and you have your players, and that's who you have. But with the Rockets, you know, being with the Vipers being underneath the Rockets, you guys are at the whim of the mothership. You know, if they want to send a guy down, they send a guy down. But if not, you don't get to set the plate. You basically gotta make the ingredients work. What's that like for you guys?
It's definitely you know, it's challenging. I mean, at times everybody knows. I mean, even Hondo. I mean, not being on the basketball side, but he knows. I mean, he talks with Travis every day and knows when guys are being called up and down, and he understands it. Him and Renee both know. It's like, man, you know, when are they going to send some of the guys? Quote unquote, the guys. We know what the guys are. But I mean, it's very good as a coach, and you know, it's challenging for coaches and players, because players can go from starting, you know, to now coming off the bench to now, you know, maybe not even playing at all. And for the players, I mean, you talk about having to be patient and persevere. I mean, just like any position, I mean, I got to do it, but the players have got to do it. And, you know, that's part of being in the G League. And, you know, I know my role as the head coach. You know, I got to develop players. I got to develop, you know, the two-way guys, the NBA assignment guys, because we got to do what's best, you know, for the organization overall. And at the end of the day, it's an organization's thought. So whatever, you know, the majority say, it's like what we got to follow. So, but it's challenging. You got to deal with that as a leader, being put in my role. And I really appreciate that, because I've seen growth in the last 9-10 months. And, you know, there's nothing like being put in a leadership role, because you've got to grow. You have no choice.
Yeah, for us, I mean, it's like Mahmoud said, talk to Travis Mahmoud, like, hey, the good thing is with the relationship, we know we're not the basketball guys, but hey, we're about to trade this guy. Just give you guys a heads up. Like, we know he might be a fan favorite, but hey, man, you guys got to do what you guys got to do. So that's the cool part. Hell, last year, the championship year, we had 27 players about, I think, that year. This year, we even had tons of players too going back and forth. So it's challenging too. Like, Hyman has got to deal with jerseys. Like, we got to get guys going back home or getting sent to their new team. So it's challenging, but at the end of the day, it's very rewarding.
Yeah, one of the trades that I was amazed by was Angel Rodriguez getting dealt. This year he was a fan favorite the year before. So it's got to be tough because you don't know what's going to occur until really pretty soon before it happens, right?
For sure. Well, me and Trev, I mean, we talk about it. There's some thought process into it, and we consider the player's career and future as well, because I mean, they want to get to the league as well. They want to get to the NBA, and if there's an organization that feels that, hey, we can use him, he's going to play more, we feel that he might have an opportunity with our NBA team. We feel that there's somebody that might fit differently for us. We consider their family. There's just so many thoughts that go into the trade. It's just what's best for everybody. But at the end of the day, yeah, like, I may have some input, but if I say yes or no, it's going to happen whether it happens or not. So it's
and there's one thing that you have to manage, and it's not so much on the basketball court. It's the egos, because a lot of guys are coming from college. They're the top dogs at their schools, and then they come to the team, and playing time gets diminished sometimes. What's that like, managing that aspect of the game?
For sure. I've told people before, I don't like to say that, that the guys have egos. We all want to be successful in the job that we do. You just think about it. You think about if you walked in and they brought in somebody, in your position, better than Hondo. It's like, okay, Hondo, you're not going to be doing any of the work. You're just going to watch this guy do it for the next 40 minutes. You wouldn't be too happy either. You'd wonder why. You think you're pretty good at your job, which you are, but sometimes there's just certain things that you can control and certain things that you can't. And you just got to stay positive. You got to do what you got to do what you got to do when that person is present. And you got to be able to control what you call as an ego. And, those are the guys that succeed. The guys that are able to handle tough situations like that. So.
And for you, what is it like for you guys to have those NBA guys, or the guys that come down from the mothership? Because some of them, like Daniel House, for example, goes from being with the Vipers to a starting role with the Rockets. What's that like for having that much talent coming back and forth? And you never know when you're going to get them, but when you get them, you got to coach them.
For sure. No, it's good. Hey. You can send down whoever you want, whenever you want, anytime. There's an expectation, and you just got to hold those guys accountable to what you expect, because they're down here for a reason. They're down here to get better, and my job, as the head coach, is to do that in whatever ways possible. We communicate as an organization. We communicate as a staff. I communicate with Travis, on what the expectations are for the guys when they come down here. And you just got to hold them to those standards each and every day. Just like we all have. You got to hit certain goals in life. They got certain goals for every game, every practice, every week. So we just got to hold them to those standards.
And Hondo, for you, what's it like? Because you have to do a lot of the back end stuff. What's it like for you when those players are coming down? Do you have to do anything extra?
Nah, man, they're great to work with. They come down, they love it. Even like Daniel, we had to do some stuff, but it's nothing major. Took care of him. We're in the playoffs and championship, and he's wearing a Vipers t-shirt after a Rockets game for his interview. So You know, Isaiah, same thing. Like, we don't have issues with these guys. You know, they come down, they do what they need to do their job, improve, because they know they just want to go back up. You know, we just make sure we take care of them when they're here.
All right.
They love it. They really enjoy it. I mean, like Hondo said, I mean, a lot of the people, it's more than about 3/4 of the league have played some games in the G League of the NBA. And it's like, it's nothing like to be, you know, down about. It's not a negative like connotation or anything. It's a plus. I mean, hey, you were there. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, now just like accept it. It's a part of your journey. It's a part of where you were. I mean, from GMs in the NBA to coaches to players. I mean, it's just the pathway.
And, okay, something new that's happening in the league this year, you're going to have these guys that are jumping straight from high school to the pros, to the G League, but they're not necessarily going to be on everyone's team. They're going to be on a specific team. What's that going to be like? Is it going to increase the level of play? Because are these older veterans going to want to take it to these young guys? How do you think it'll be?
It's going to be very interesting. I'll tell you that much. You know, I've actually seen some film on those guys. I mean, they're very talented, you know, but like you said, I mean, it's like you got a younger guy coming in trying to take your job. But I mean, these guys are going to be potential draft picked anyways. You know, what the NBA, you know, would probably consider potential lottery draft picks. So whether they're in college or in the G League, I mean, they're here for a reason. You know, but who knows? I mean, we'll see what the end all be all is. We'll see what type of schedule they're going to be playing. You know, who their teammates are. You know, this is kind of just scratching the surface, and I think this can possibly grow into something. And but it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's good to have those guys in the G League,
including the new team, Mexico City, next year. So I think that's going to be fun too, at least for us. Try and build that rivalry there and stuff like that. I think that's going to be kind of cool too. With the PPP team, you just don't know who they're going to play yet. So it's kind of, like Mahmoud said, it's just scratching the surface right now. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to come on that.
All right. This next question, I guess, is for Coach. Coach, you know, as an assistant, as a head coach, is there a moment when you knew that you had the chops, like, to do what you were doing? You know, like, there's that moment, because, like, I remember I coached, but not at your level, but there were moments where I, like, drew something up, boom, it happened. You're like, I got it. This is it. You know, but for you, what was it like?
That is a very good question. I've never been asked that. Man, I got to think about that one. I don't know. I don't know if there's one time. You know, like I tell everybody, a little while ago, somebody asked, it's like, you know, did you go to RGVs like wanting to become the RGV head coach? I mean, when I started coaching, I knew I wanted to be a head coach. So, I mean, every position I take, I learn and I grow as if I want to be a head coach. Where? I didn't know. And I didn't know I was going to be the head coach of the Vipers. I mean, it could have been with a different G League team. I could have went back to college. I could have went back to high school. Maybe my first job could have been the NBA or international. But there's one time or point, you don't know. I mean, I just, like I said, I mean, like you said, I mean, you named the tree. I learned so much under Brazzi. I learned so much when I was in college. And I learned so much under JB. And just overall, like, I was preparing, trying to pick head coach's brains. What not to do, what to do, off the court, on the court, relationships. And it wasn't just one thing. But, I mean, I know when once JB got the Philadelphia 76ers job, I was like, I might be the next head coach. So, but there's not one thing like basketball-wise. It's just the plethora of experience that I learned, you know, from my counterparts and the guys, you know, that I was working with over the last number of years, and they just gave me a ton of experience, and I'm thankful for it. So but that is a great question, Mr. Bear. I've never been asked that one.
I thought you were going to say when you yelled bingo for the first time.
No, I yell middle ball screen, and they give me crap. Travis yells bingo. I yell middle ball screen.
All right. So I'm going to ask this question. This will be one of the last ones, but you've been with the team for a number of years now. You know, guys come through. I know from doing play-by-play to doing the announcing, I've had my favorites, players, that is. Do you have a favorite player that, you know, maybe they bust your chops in the locker room, you know, but, you know, they make you a better person, you know, but is there a player that has come through that you can remember, you're like, you know, that's my guy?
For sure. I mean, I think Mike Frazier. Mike is my guy because not many people know. I've known Mike since about 2013. So it's crazy. So my first ever like pre-draft workout in Chicago with Cody was Mike Frazier when he was leaving Florida. I forgot what year it was exact. It might have been 14 or something. And not many people know. And when I was at St. Cloud State as an assistant, Mike came out to work out for the Timberwolves. And I actually worked Mike out the night before because he wanted to get some shots up. And I got him into a small gym in the back of a large company that my buddy's AAU program was playing out of. It was only a half court. It was like one of those rubber floors. We had no NBA balls. It was college balls. And I'll never forget, we shot from like 3 spots, but I remember my boys who opened the gym for me, they were kind of like looking like, man, this guy's not missing. I'm like, I mean, well, he's getting ready for the NBA, but he's not trying out for your AAU program. So, I mean, Mike, not many people know that about me and Mike, but Mike is also the pro of pro. The dude is so respectful. Works hard at everything that he does. And, I mean, coming off the injuries that he's had and being the player that he is, I mean, he's earned every ounce and second of whatever you want, the fame that he's gotten, the contract with the Rockets. Like, he's earned that. He's been unbelievable. And, I mean, everybody. I mean, Jay, I have stories with all the guys from my first year, from RJ, Monte, Zochi, and the other guy, probably Isaiah Hartenstein, because Isaiah was a rookie when he got down here. And I was my first year, and everyone, I tell us, like, nobody knows Isaiah probably better than me, JB, and Brazi. And Isaiah being down here with me as often, me and Isaiah have a very good relationship. So it doesn't matter where he's at, what contract he's on. I remember you from day one, buddy. But all those guys and Jordan Johnson. I don't know if you know that as well, Barry and Hondo. We won an AU national championship together.
What? Really?
Yeah, so Jordan Johnson, point guard, when we won an AU national championship on my first ever championship when I was 22, I believe. Not, once again, something not many people know, but think about, I've known JJ since he was in 7th grade. To win an AU championship, a G League championship together, come on. Who would have ever thought that? Like, I'm coaching guys that I was coaching when I was in high school, in college, and I mean, you can't.
Trying to get him, you kept talking about JJ, and I was like, man, he's my dude. So,
but there's just so many stories. Yeah, like, it's unbelievable.
And Hondo, who's your guy? Like, because we've had a lot of guys. I know who my guy is, even though he made me mad by not giving me shoes. I'll get to that. But who's your guy?
Man, we've had so many guys over the years. Like, oh my God, I got more years than Mahmoud over here. So, and we had, like, even at that time, like my first year, like Glenn Rice Jr. was like, just watching him play was awesome, you know. But most recently, like Isaiah, Mike, you know, those have been Dakari, you know, they're real good dudes. And JJ too, you know, hitting me up, C-Walk.
Yeah.
Great, Barry. Like Hondo said, man.
You can't pick one.
Yeah, it's tough to pick, like
GP.
With all of them. Like Dakari, I love that dude's personality, man. Like, we talked till today. That's my guy. I love Dakari. From G,
right.
Kevin Hardy, my first, all of them.
Yeah, I'm still mad about GP because I remember one day Brazzi had some shoes on, some nice Jordans. I said, "Where'd you get those? I've been looking for those." And he goes, "Oh, Gary gave them to me." And I was like, "Bro, I want some shoes, man." Like we were the same size. But yeah, but GP would be one of my favorites.
Yeah, but that group last year was super. That was a fun year. Like that was super fun. I mean, even
unbelievable, though. I love GP. We take still today. I mean, GP is. I'm telling you, everybody. I don't want to shortchange anybody. Everybody, honestly, that's come through here. Everybody's gonna have. Everybody's like you said because they want to play it. But I know what it is. When they get mad, pissed, they curse, they yell at me or the team. It is what it is. But I hope you don't come down here accepting that you're at the end of the bench. I mean, I love everybody that's come through here in my 3 years.
Like even our first year, we had Clint, and look at Clint now, so it's just so many people have come through that, even when they come back and they say, "Hey, how's it going?" They remember you. Demo, when he went to Santa Cruz, he came back. He remembers Jarvis, all those guys, so it's Chris Johnson. The list goes on.
Okay, now I can't remember if you were on staff, Mahmoud, when Chris Walker did the cartwheel in the middle of the. I don't know if you were on. Okay, I just want. This is the one. This is the last. Well, this will be the last series right here. What was that like in the locker room after the game? Because I can't imagine the coaching staff was like, good job.
Seawalk that dude cracks me up. Seawalk is Seawalk. And, there are times last year, stuff that he just does in the game that you can't – me and JB would look at each other like, you can't do anything but laugh. Like, he'll inbound the basketball, throwing it behind the back. For what? Like, why do that? Why? There's no – he'll dribble the ball up the floor and then dribble the ball off his foot. Like, why do that? But the cartwheel, I just remember the guys giving him crap for it. But I do think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they put it on the post-game edit. The next day, it was the last clip, and JB and Brodie started ripping him, and then the players started cracking up. It was hilarious. But Chris being Chris, baby, you gotta love them for who they are.
So, you can't talk Corona stuff, but how are you dealing with this break? Because you got to wait and wait for next season. It looks like what's the transition going to be like? Because you're right here in the Valley right now.
Yep.
Like, how long do you have to wait? Like before you'll know if you're going to go up? There could be summer league.
It's going to be. It's just TBD right now. I'm kind of just waiting. Like all we know, everything that's kind of being said on, ESPN or being tweeted out, that's pretty much what we know. I got people always reaching out asking me, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on?" I'm like, trust me, there's no magic answers. They're trying their best, and hopefully everything will get figured out. But once the season happens, hopefully when it happens, we just got to be ready. So, kind of just wait to see what happens with the NBA and then, the G League. But things will work out. But as of now, I'm just in the Valley. We'll probably spend the next couple weeks here, see what kind of gets figured out. And then just enjoying the month of Ramadan. So enjoying my fasting right now. It's been actually great because I actually get a little more time to pray a little more, read a little more Quran. So it's been good for me.
And I got one question, though.
Yeah.
How's The Last Dance?
So I've missed segments of it because the prayer aspect. But man, to see that it's on, I just love the fact that everybody gets to see how good MJ really was. Because I know I was younger. Go ahead, Jay. You got a question?
No. I'm going to ask this question after. I was going to wait until you're done. But so, okay, you're a Chicago guy. All right, but you're also younger. Who's your guy? Because there's the discussion of who's the top basketball player. I think Jay Williams. I love Jay Williams from ESPN, but he's wrong when he says LeBron. But what's your take?
MJ. I mean, Joe, once again, being a fan, you got 6 championships, multiple MVPs, has never played in a Game 7 in the finals. But my most important thing is he took 2 years off to go play another sport, and then he came back and won 3 in a row. I understand that year they lost, the year he came back, but the next 3, like, who knows? Who knows what happens if he doesn't go? Maybe they win less, maybe they win more. Who knows if it doesn't with the Jerry Krause stuff, because the next year was the lockout when he could have had more rest. The Knicks, as the 8th seed, made it to the finals.
But I'm okay with that. Rockets got 2 championships during that time, so.
Hey, I'm okay with it as well. Hey, things happen for a reason. But all I know, with MJ, MJ's MJ, and he is who he is, and he changed the face of the game. And like I said, I was maybe 10 years old. I remember the last 3 championships very well, even being that young. I remember watching every Sunday. My mom, God rest her soul, being an MJ fan, is like NBA on NBC, and she was geeked for it. And I'm like, yo, what do you know about basketball, Mom? Like, come on. But she knew. She, with her accent, Reggie Miller, when we were playing Patrick Ewing, saying, I hope Jordan, kills that guy. We got to win. But it was just fun, man. It was fun.
Well, hey guys, I appreciate you guys taking the time to come in. I know your schedules are a little different now, but I really appreciate you taking the time to come in and actually doing this interview. It means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.